guys, and welcome back to my channel. After a long time, I guess I'm here to finally update you and let you know exactly why it's been 5 to 7 years since you guys have gotten an update. So, with that being said, my brows are done, and I have also prepped my eyelids with 2 concealers and some translucent powder. As far as what I filled my brows with, I did use Super Brow from Blondie, which is like my holy grail. I love that stuff so much. So beyond that, also gonna be using a Sonia Kashuk beauty sponge, which these are like my holy grail. I love these. A little bit of a pointed face brush. I'm gonna use a dome brush for my shadow. As far as complexion, I primed with the Milk Hydro Blur Primer, which is surprisingly really hydrating, and it's not too sticky, so excited about that. So, I guess I should get to explaining why it's taking me so long to get back on YouTube. And essentially, it kind of started when my dad passed away. It was Halloween of 2012, and yeah, I just got like a random phone call from a friend saying, hey, like we heard something happen at you guys' family business, and essentially what we had to do was call over. So we called and no one got an answer. So within like minutes we were packed up and on our way in the car to see what's going on. And obviously it's a holiday, it's Halloween, so we have 1 million people at our house, so picking up and just closing up shop was really hard because like we arrived in batches and I arrived first, so I had the unpleasant moment of actually seeing my dad die, like laying there dead, which is like so intense. And also had the pleasure of watching all my family arrive after me and watching everyone's reactions, which was super traumatic. And that's just like, that's the 2012 portion. Beyond that, after his death, I just felt like things were super shaky. Like I didn't really know what to do next or really who I could trust, because when people die, you actually find that a lot of people will pop up. You'll get a lot of leeches in your life, and I'm just not about that life. Like, I really like to kind of keep to myself, especially when, you know, there's been a tragedy in the family. And I think I lasted maybe 4 weeks before I moved from the Bay Area back, well not back, but up to Sacramento. And essentially from moving here, like I was here for a little bit, but then the drama of all of the people who were leeching off of my family tried to follow me up here, and that was just extra drama. So then like I got a random invite to move to LA, which I just kind of did on a whim, because it just so happened to be, I think, a year later, and it landed on, I want to say, my dad's birthday, on the day I got the offer. So I said, you know what, it's a sign, I'm gonna go. And I went, and I was there for about a year, and Los Angeles is a very interesting place, to say the least. It's a lot of beautiful people, but I don't know exactly how much substance I found in those people. Like, I made a lot of acquaintances, but not necessarily like a lot of lifelong friends. There's a lot of moments where like you realize your relationships essentially are just for show, which is super painful, you know? Like, who wants to realize that your friendship wasn't real? But like, I wish I was lying when I told you like I was treated differently after I decided to change my hair from blonde to brown, which I just found to be like the most like ridiculous change of heart ever. But YOLO, you know, you're young in a foreign city trying to get to know the town and paint the town red. And I feel like for the most part I got to do that, but after a year I was done, our roommate situation got so shaky and just dramatic. And even though I was there with one of my like best friends, like we did the best we could do to really protect each other, but we lasted about a year. After that, we were kind of just over it. So beyond that, when I came back, I actually was still freelancing under MAC Cosmetics, which was like a very, very interesting experience because the further up you move or the further away you get from big cities, the further you are from like the majority of counters, because they obviously are going to build them where there are clientele. And I just remember after that move coming back and getting a lot of offers to actually work, but it was in Fairfield, which is like an hour away. I took those hours though. I was there. But it was not necessarily like the easiest thing to go through, you know? Like the hour commute back and forth is really, really taxing. And it's just a lot of stress. A lot of stress on the person, a lot of stress on your car. It's just a lot of stress. But what I can say is I will always love those people at the Fairfield counter, especially, I think her name is Christina. She is the bomb. Like, when I tell you this girl is like the manager of all managers, she was legit, and she just got it. Like, she just got it, and I appreciated her work ethic and her hustle. And to this day, I hope when she sees that I'm still moving and uploading again, I hope she's proud, because she definitely had a part in just building my skill set. Like, it's really, really hard to believe that I was able to upload makeup videos when I knew absolutely nothing about makeup. Like, I was so green and so fresh. And now I've been an artist, what, 7, almost 8 years. And the things I know now, I'm like so eager to share. So, it's just, you know, getting over that initial feeling of fear of failure, or just, I don't know. I don't know what I necessarily was waiting to upload for, but whatever period of my life that was stressing me out about it is obviously over, because I decided to press play today. But, yeah. So, I went foundation, Fenty, concealer, Fenty as well, both shade 345. And then I also layered a little bit of Smashbox concealer in the color medium warm olive. So that's that brightening effect. I think what I want to do now is actually take my favorite blush from MAC, which is called Harmony. She's well loved, if you can't tell. She's very well loved. But yeah. The thing I love about this color is I feel like it's legit, like, you know, just a oomph, a color. Sometimes, like, especially as a guy who wears makeup, I don't always want it to be, like, so obvious that I'm wearing blush. So, the more subtle, the better for me. Which I feel like I can't be the only person who feels that way. As far as like the shaping of blush, I would kind of like swoop, which is like, you know, blush or contour, just do it. Oh man. Oh child. I hope they don't take my coins for using a slogan, child, because ain't nobody got time. Speaking of taking coins, how do you guys feel about my new theme music? Because I had to sit there and create that from scriggity scratch, okay? I started at the bottom and then I ended up with that track, okay? That's what ended up happening. Man, I got really off topic, but let's pick it back up where we dropped it, you know? Essentially, after going from being a part of MAC for like, I'd say 2.5 years or so, I decided to just work for a different company, because that moving around and dealing with that hour commute was really killing me. Like, I love working, I love doing makeup, but an hour's commute was not the jam for me. Like, it just made things really, really, you know, just a longer process. Plus, it's a longer process to get ready. I mean, I got hair, I got makeup. It's a lot. It's pretty much a 2-hour process on any given day. So, there's that. Blush is done, so you guys can totally see why I love that. It's like the perfect color. Period. Period. Oh man. Period. Now that I have warmed up my bones, I'm going to set, and I'm going to actually use a little bit of the Huda Beauty powder in the color Blondie, which literally is like my favorite banana powder. And it doesn't hurt that it smells really yummy too. I mean, and I know talc based powders kind of get like a bad rep, but I just haven't found anything that performs the same. And I would try just about every powder out there, and as far as like something that actually matches my undertones and also looks good on film, this is like pretty much holy grail for me, which is really, I've been with the same company for about, I'd say 5 years now, coming up on it, and that's been interesting because it's really given me a lot of chances to grow my base in education, or at least like, you know, my product based knowledge, which has been really nice, especially when like you're not under one brand and you're actually able to, you know, work the floor and see what else is out there and see what the entire store has to offer. You get a much broader experience that way, so it's always nice. All set. For shadow, I'm gonna do Sweet Peach. I'm going out, so I don't want to like do too much. I'm literally going to take a little bit of like puree, which is just like a really, really natural brown. And I'm just going to work that into the natural crease of the eye. Beyond that, I also was inside a relationship that lasted about 2 years and some change, which ended pretty much in a fireball. I mean, it was really bad. And I don't know. I think that was pretty traumatic in itself. Just thinking that you're like working up to being with somebody exclusively and then ultimately just being forced into like an open situation was not fun. And obviously it wasn't built to last, because once that was my reality, I don't even think it lasted a month. Like, I think it literally came crashing down. And you know what? It's cool to have life experience and everything, but I think ultimately all I learned is that I have always kind of been like a one and done kind of person. I'm not really open to anything more explorative than that. I just don't think that it's conducive to like building anything. Like, I think it's great if that works for your lifestyle, but it doesn't work for mine. And like, it really is like no shade though. Like, if that's your thing, go for it. But as far as me, I feel like it's kind of more so like a deal breaker. Because the whole point of, to me, cohabitating or anything of the sort is just all about maintaining and building upon that bond. So looking outward never really helps anything, and I think that was definitely a learning experience. to say the least. And there were a couple attempts just to get back online, but I think ultimately the thing that kept stopping me was my technology. I was dealing with, like, I think a MacBook Pro from 2009. So, yeah. She was not able to handle anything HD. So, I put my coins together this year and I just decided, you know what? We're gonna do it. And I took it apart myself and I updated my technology and here we are today. And I feel like in a lot of ways I kind of overbought. Like, I kind of bought something a little bit too powerful for what I even need, but I think in time I'll appreciate the investment I made. And if you guys are curious about, like, what I use, I could do, like, an entire video on that setup and stuff too. But basically I set up a Mac Mini, which kind of fits in perfectly. I never really thought about doing the whole home entertainment system thing, but it just kind of fits. Like, I have my surround sound and I have an external graphics card, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on any of the experience. It's kind of like having a big screen MacBook, which is really cool. Plus it's spraying for, like, the 6-core option too, so I'll actually be able to make videos for a long time to come without there being any interruptions or issues, which is really, really nice. Ooh, I'm really, really happy with how this looks. So I have 2 more things to do. Essentially, no, 3 things actually. For my lip, I'm going to do a little bit of the lip maximizer from Dior. And I'm doing shade 12, which I believe is Rosewood. It's a really nice plumping gloss, but it's also, like, not too sticky. But what I like about it is it actually matches the tone of my natural lip. Kind of wakes up everything, but I also don't feel like I'm overdone, so nice and comfy. And by the way, how do we feel about the wall? How do we feel about the wall? You know, because, you know, that's the window, but these are the walls. And I want to know how you feel about them, because it took me a long time to, you see this, the multi-texture, you see the glitter, you see, okay, it was a lot. Back to the subject at hand, okay? Highlighting. And today we're gonna do a little bit of Nars Orgasm. Nars Orgasm. Wow, what a word to trip over. Subtle. So subtle I am. Hope I don't get demonetized over a dang highlighter color. This is what it says, people. I'm not messing around. So. Perfect. I, like, am obsessed with this highlight. It's really, really nice, but it's not too loud. It's like the perfect peachy gold, and the deeper the skin, the more golden it gets. All about it. No complaints here. Other than that, I just need to put on some mascara, and we can actually call this my first video. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that's, like, super important for me to tell you guys about my journey getting back here, because it's really, really been intense. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, like, super major that I can think of at the moment, but what I can tell you is the things that I'd like to do going forward. So I definitely plan on doing some uploads multiple times a week so that you guys can actually learn a lot more about how to use the products that you actually go home with all the time, as opposed to feeling like I'm trying to sell you something with a discount code. So just know with confidence going forward, like, I plan on sharing tips and tricks and things that have made a huge difference inside my personal journey being a makeup artist, and, you know, just ways to get that look without having to spend necessarily an hour to get there. Some of it just is simple but beautiful enough. But I think, you know, makeup is one of those things that's kind of to each its own. So I just hope that there is people out there that understand, I guess, like my flavor, or like the things that I like, or I don't know. I like to think that there is a viewer for every kind of creator out there. Oh, y'all saw it here. Marc Jacobs tried me. God darn it. I got like the dots of the mascara fiber. Tried. I'm telling you. No, I think honestly it's more so my fault because this is like my first time in forever shooting in front of a camera, which means I gotta get my angles right so I don't get my mascara everywhere. Good enough. So, bottom lashes next, which are literally my favorite thing ever. I feel like I really live for some bottom mascara. Just in general, I really like it. I think it's a great thing to have, and if you can count your lashes, you are winning in life. At least that's how I see it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, I think I'm happy. Just making sure I didn't smudge nothing. So overall, I think I'm actually ready to get out the door, and I'm ready to go where I'm going and see my friends. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening to that long story that honestly kind of like, you know, just had like little key points. But essentially, thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe. And I hope that you come back for more because I'm gonna be here. You know, like before we were here, but we weren't here, like we are today, right now. Don't forget to share this with somebody who, you know, refer me.